Hello, fellow witches and wizards. My name is Phoenix Ginny, and welcome to the stream. Welcome to Harry Potter Saturday number 2. Last weekend was quite successful, so we're doing it again. We'll be reading chapter 24 of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and then we're going to be writing some Harry Potter fanfiction live on stream, and then after an intermission we're going to be playing some Hogwarts Legacy. If you could do me a quick favor and like the stream and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Turn on notifications so you can be notified the next time I go live, and all that good stuff. Leave comments, all the fun things. I plan on going live. I'm not going live next Friday, but probably next Saturday for another Harry Potter Saturday. If you'd like to know when I'm going live, you can follow me on Twitter, link in the description. Also in the description is my Patreon. If you'd like to support me as a content creator, I'm also a writer and I have short stories on there. I have free stuff on there as well if you'd like to enjoy that. Oh no, why is my camera being weird? I don't need this. I don't need this right now. I just saw my face frozen. And I'm like, what? Why is that happening? Anyway, it's fine now. Yes, Patreon. I have free stuff on there as well. For the month of February, I have chapter 1 of my new mystery novel that I've written, and it's free and available for everyone. You can check it out right there. In the description, and I also have TikTok and Instagram if you'd like to follow me there. Those are linked in the description as well. Okay, so reading Harry Potter. So last week we read chapter 23, the Yule Ball, which is very, very fun as always. We had a good time. Harry and Ron didn't. Hermione was dressed so beautifully that they didn't recognize her. They had Christmas as well. Yes, a lot of drama at the Yule Ball, particularly between Ron and Hermione. It's a lot of talking at the ball. Mr. Crouch is not there. He's under the weather. Something suspicious is going on with him. Hermione and Victor Crumb are getting quite cozy. Interesting. Dumbledore stumbled upon the Room of Requirement and didn't know it. Hermione teaches Victor Crumb how to say her name. Harry and Ron were not great dates. Padma and Parvati ended up ditching them in the middle of the ball. Good for them. Harry's quite upset about Cedric and Cho. And Hermione and Ron are fighting. Yes. That's where we ended it, actually. Fred and George confronted Mr. Bagman. We're not sure why yet. Oh, and Karkaroff and Snape are having a private discussion in the garden. And Harry and Ron overheard an argument between Hagrid and Madame Maxime, because Madame Maxime wants to deny that she's half giant. Yes. And we're going to see the implications of that in this chapter. Chapter 24, Rita Skeeter's Scoop. Alright, we ready? Everybody got up late on Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas. I have no idea. Let me look it up. What is Boxing Day? Because we don't celebrate it in the United States. I have no idea what it even is. What is Boxing Day? A public holiday celebrated on the first day after Christmas Day. Yes, I know. What is it? Christmastide. Though it originated as a holiday to give gifts to poor people, today Boxing Day forms part of Christmas celebrations, with many people choosing to take advantage of Boxing Day sales. Why is it called Boxing Day? Like, I don't get it. Derives its name from the ancient practice of giving boxes of money at the midwinter holiday season to all those who had given good service throughout the year. Oh. Okay. It's about giving to the poor, I guess. Or it originally was. And now it's like Black Friday, but not, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Not that interesting, but okay. Where am I? Okay, cool. The Gryffindor common room was much quieter than it had been lately, many yawns punctuating the lazy conversations. Hermione's hair was bushy again. She confessed to Harry that she had used liberal amounts of Sleekeasy's hair potion on it for the ball, but it's way too much bother to do every day, she said matter-of-factly, scratching a purring Crookshanks behind the ears. You said it, girl. As a fellow bushy-haired woman, you said it. Straightening my hair sometimes it just doesn't even work, okay? It's a struggle. Ron and Hermione seemed to have reached an unspoken agreement not to discuss their argument. Yes, because why would we want to make things happen amicably and logically? No. We must hide our feelings for each other forever. You don't tell a girl that you like her. It makes you look like an idiot. They were being quite friendly to each other, though. Commas are important. Read it where the comma's supposed to go. They were being quite friendly to each other, though oddly formal. Ron and Hermione wasted no time in telling Hermione about the conversation they had overheard between Madame Maxime and Hagrid, but Hermione didn't seem to find the news that Hagrid was a half-giant nearly as shocking as Ron did. I'm surprised anybody finds it shocking. I thought it was common knowledge. I thought we all knew. I didn't know it was a secret. Well, we just assumed he was just some big dude? I don't get it. I don't understand. I thought he introduced himself that. I thought we were told he was a giant in the first one, and half-giant in the first one. I don't know. I'm confused. Well, I thought he might be, she said, shrugging. I knew he couldn't be pure giant because they're about 20 feet tall. But honestly, all this hysteria against giants, they can't all be horrible. It's the same sort of prejudice that people have toward werewolves. It's just bigotry, isn't it? Yeah. Plain and simple. Ron looked as though he would have liked to reply scathingly, but perhaps he didn't want another row, because he contented himself with shaking his head disbelievingly, while Hermione wasn't looking. It was time now to think of the homework they had neglected during the first week of the holidays. Everybody seemed to be feeling rather flat now that Christmas was over. Everybody except Harry, that is, who was starting, once again, to feel slightly nervous. The trouble was that February the 24th, it's so weird. Like, just reading the books and then that being the time of year that we're currently in. I mean, that's going to happen because the Harry Potter books take place largely for the course of a year. All of them do. They start, like late summer and always end, late spring. So you've got pretty much the whole year. So at one time or another, you're going to be reading a part of the year that you're currently in. So we're in the middle of February, coming towards the end of February, just like Harry is here. The trouble was that February the 24th looked a lot closer from this side of Christmas. Oh, okay, so it's not actually February quite yet. Not quite there. And they just had Christmas. It's Boxing Day, stupid. Pay attention. Anyway, and he still hadn't done anything about working out the clue inside the golden egg. He therefore started taking the egg out of his trunk every time he went up to the dormitory, opening it and listening intently, hoping that this time it would make some sense. He strained to think what the sound reminded him of, apart from 30 musical saws, but he had never heard anything else like it. He closed the egg, shook it vigorously, and opened it again to see if the sound had changed, but it hadn't. He tried asking the egg questions, shouting over all the wailing, but nothing happened. He even threw the egg across the room, though he hadn't really expected that to help. Yeah, he, oh, no, I'm not quite centered. I think he's doing a good go of it, trying all these different things. I think he should probably try more magical things, though. Not that that's going to work either, because I know what it is and what you're supposed to do with it, and it's not all that magical, but I like the effort he's putting in. That's what I'm trying to say. Harry had not forgotten the hint that Cedric had given him, but his less-than-friendly feelings toward Cedric just now meant that he was keen not to take his help if he could avoid it. Again, because why would we be amicable and logical about things? In any case, it seemed to him that if Cedric had really wanted to give Harry a hand, he would have been a lot more explicit. There's a joke there. I'm not going to make it, but there's a joke there. Okay, maybe I will. So, if you heard me read this last week, I mean, a lot of people make that joke just because the way Cedric says it to Harry, especially in the movie, and people like to put people together in relationship pairings all the time. It's just the way Cedric approaches Harry about coming to the prefect's bathroom. It sounds kind of scandalous. You don't want him to be more explicit, Harry. That's the joke I wanted to make. Anyway, Harry, had told Cedric exactly what was coming in the first task, and Cedric's idea of a fair exchange had been to tell Harry to take a bath. Well, he didn't need that sort of rubbishy help, not from someone who kept walking down corridors hand in hand with Cho. Because they're dating. Let them enjoy it, Harry. They have such a short amount of time, okay? Someone who kept walking down corridors hand in hand with Cho, anyway. And so the first day of the new term arrived, and Harry set off to lessons weighed down with books, parchment, and quills, as usual. But also with the lurking worry of the egg heavy in his stomach, as though he were carrying that around with him, too. Oh, sorry. My microphone is falling over. Sorry. The cord is kind of in the way, so I'm trying to move it. You're in the way of my reading. I need to sneeze. Bless me. Okay. Snow was still thick upon the grounds, and the greenhouse windows were covered in condensation, so thick that they couldn't see out of them in herbology. Nobody was looking forward to care of magical creatures much in this weather, though, as Ron said, the Scroots would probably warm them up nicely, either by chasing them or blasting off so forcefully that Hagrid's cabin would catch fire. When they arrived at Hagrid's cabin, however, they found an elderly witch with closely cropped gray hair, all right, and a very prominent chin standing before his front door. "Hurry up now, the bell rang 5 minutes ago," she barked at them as they struggled toward her through the snow. "Who are you?" Ron, that's so rude. "Who are you?" said Ron, staring at her. "Where's Hagrid?" "My name is Professor Grubbly Plank," she said briskly. "I am your temporary care of magical creatures teacher." "Where's Hagrid?" Harry repeated loudly. "He is indisposed," said Professor Grubbly Plank shortly. It's like, you can sense, she's, why are you asking? He's a teacher. Leave him alone. Let him have his privacy. But he doesn't, Harry, Ron, Hermione have have an unusual relationship with Hagrid because they're friends. He's not just their teacher, they're also friends, so they are concerned for him. But she doesn't realize that, Professor Grubbly Plank. Soft and unpleasant laughter reached Harry's ears. He turned. Draco Malfoy and the rest of the Slytherins were joining the class. All of them looked gleeful, and none of them looked surprised to see Professor Grubbly Plank. "This way, please," said Professor Grubbly Plank, and she strode off around the paddock where the Beauxbatons' horses were shivering. Harry, Ron, and Hermione followed her, looking back over their shoulders at Hagrid's cabin. All the curtains were closed. Was Hagrid in there, alone and ill? "What's wrong with Hagrid?" Harry said, hurrying to catch up with Professor Grubbly Plank. "Never you mind," she said, as though she thought he was being nosy. "I do mind, though," said Harry hotly. "What's up with him?" Wow, Harry getting ballsy. I love it. He's really, man, I love it. The older Harry gets, the more, what's the word? Confident is a good word. Take charge. Ooh. I love that. I love that in a man. Oh. All right. Professor Grubbly Plank acted as though she couldn't hear him. She led them past the paddock where the huge Beauxbatons' horses were standing, huddled against the cold, and toward a tree on the edge of the forest, where a large and beautiful unicorn was tethered. I would love this lesson. "Oh, it's so beautiful," whispered Lavender Brown. "How did she get it? They're supposed to be really hard to catch." The unicorn was so brightly white it made the snow all around look gray. It was pawing the ground nervously with its golden hooves and throwing back its horned head. "Boys, keep back," barked Professor Grubbly Plank, throwing out an arm and catching Harry hard in the chest. "They prefer the woman's touch, unicorns. Girls to the front, and approach with care. Come on, easy does it." "Yay, I'm a girl." She and the girls walked slowly forward toward the unicorn, leaving the boys standing near the paddock fence, watching. The moment Professor Grubbly Plank was out of earshot, Harry turned to Ron. "What do you reckon's wrong with him? You don't think a Scroot—" "Oh, he hasn't been attacked." "Oh, whoa. This is Draco talking." "Oh, he hasn't been attacked, Potter, if that's what you're thinking," said Malfoy softly. "No, he's just too ashamed to show his big ugly face." "What do you mean?" said Harry sharply. Malfoy put his hand inside the pocket of his robes and pulled out a folded page of newsprint. "There you go," he said. "Hate to break it to you, Potter." He smirked as Harry snatched the page, unfolded it, and read it with Ron, Seamus, Dean, and Neville looking over his shoulder. It was an article topped with a picture of Hagrid looking extremely shifty. Why would anybody care? Oh, because it's Dumbledore. That's why. I was like, why would anybody who didn't know Hagrid care? You know? Like, I don't know. Dumbledore's giant mistake. Albus Dumbledore, eccentric headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, has never been afraid to make controversial staff appointments, writes Rita Skeeter, special correspondent. In September of this year, he hired Alistair Mad-Eye Moody, the notoriously jinx-happy ex-Auror, to teach defense against the dark arts, a decision that caused many raised eyebrows at the Ministry of Magic, given Moody's well-known habit of attacking anybody who makes a sudden movement in his presence. Mad-Eye Moody, however, looks responsible and kindly when set beside the part-human Dumbledore employs to teach care of magical creatures. Rubeus Hagrid, who admits to being expelled from Hogwarts in his third year, has enjoyed the position of gamekeeper at the school ever since, a job secured for him by Dumbledore. Last year, however, Hagrid used his mysterious influence over the headmaster to secure the additional post of care of magical creatures teacher over the heads of many better qualified candidates. I don't know anyone more qualified. What are you talking about? An alarmingly large and ferocious-looking man, Hagrid has been using his newfound authority to terrify the students in his care with a succession of horrific creatures. While Dumbledore turns a blind eye, Hagrid has maimed several pupils during a series of lessons that may admit to being very frightening. I was attacked by a hippogriff, and my friend Vincent Crabbe got a bad bite off a flubberworm, said Draco Malfoy, a fourth-year student. We all hate Hagrid, but we're just too scared to say anything. Hagrid has no intention of ceasing his campaign of intimidation, however. In conversation with a Daily Prophet reporter last month, he admitted breeding creatures he has dubbed blast-ended scroots, highly dangerous crosses between manticores and firecrabs. Oh. Firecrabs aren't quite that bad, but manticores can be. Ooh, my throat. The creation of new breeds of magical creature is, of course, an activity usually closely observed by the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures. Hagrid, however, considers himself to be above such petty restrictions. I was just having some fun, he says, before hastily changing the subject. As if this was not enough, the Daily Prophet has now unearthed evidence that Hagrid is not, as he has always pretended, a pure-blood wizard. He is not, in fact, even pure human. His mother, we can exclusively reveal, is none other than the giantess Fridwulfa, whose whereabouts are currently unknown. How do they even know that? Did Hagrid say? Bloodthirsty and brutal, the giants brought themselves to the point of extinction by warring amongst themselves during the last century. The handful that remained joined the ranks of He Who Must Not Be Named, and were responsible for some of the worst mass Muggle killings of his reign of terror. While many of the giants who served He Who Must Not Be Named were killed by auras working against the dark side, Fridwulfa was not among them. It is possible she escaped to one of the giant communities still existing in foreign mountain ranges. If his antics during care of magical creatures lessons are any guide, however, Fridwulfa's son appears to have inherited her brutal nature. In a bizarre twist, Hagrid is reputed to have developed a close relationship with the boy who brought around you-know-who's fall from power, thereby driving Hagrid's own mother, like the rest of you-know-who's supporters, into hiding. Perhaps Harry Potter is unaware of the unpleasant truth about his large friend, but Albus Dumbledore surely has a duty to ensure that Harry Potter, along with his fellow students, is warned about the dangers of associating with part giants. Flat-out discrimination, just assuming that somebody has a certain character trait or behaves a certain way just because it's common among their species. Harry finished reading and looked up at Ron, whose mouth was hanging open. "How did she find out?" he whispered, but that wasn't what was bothering Harry. "What do you mean, we all hate Hagrid?" Harry spat at Malfoy. "What's this rubbish about him?" He pointed at Crabbe. "Getting a bad bite off a flubberworm. They haven't even got teeth." Crabbe was sniggering, apparently very pleased with himself. "Well, I think they should put an end to the oaf's teaching career," said Malfoy, his eyes glinting. "Half giant. And that was me thinking he just swallowed a bottle of Skelgro when he was young. None of the mummies and daddies are going to like this at all. They'll be worried he'll eat their kids. Ha ha! Are you paying attention over there?" Professor Grubbly Plank's voice carried over to the boys. The girls were all clustered around the unicorn now, stroking it. Harry was so angry that the Daily Prophet article shook in his hands as he turned to stare unseeingly at the unicorn, whose many magical properties Professor Grubbly Plank was now enumerating in a loud voice, so that the boys could hear too. "I hope she stays, that woman," said Parvati Patil when the lesson had ended, and they were all heading back to the castle for lunch. "That's more what I thought care of magical creatures would be like. Proper creatures like unicorns, not monsters. What about Hagrid?" Harry said angrily as they went up the steps. What about him? said Parvati in a hard voice. He can still be gamekeeper, can't he? Parvati had been very cool toward Harry since the ball. He supposed that he ought to have paid her a bit more attention, but she seemed to have had a good time all the same. She was certainly telling everybody who would listen that she had made arrangements to meet the boy from Beauxbatons in Hogsmeade on the next weekend trip. Well, good for her. That was a really good lesson, said Hermione as they entered the Great Hall. I didn't know half the things Professor Grubbleblink told us about uni. Look at this! Harry snarled as he shoved the Daily Prophet article under Hermione's nose. Hermione's mouth fell open as she read. Her reaction was exactly the same as Ron's. How did that horrible Skeeter woman find out? You don't think Hagrid told her? Well, we know, I think I mentioned this when I read the last chapter. Rita Skeeter is an unregistered animagus, yes. Why am I... She's an animagus, and so she can turn into a beetle. That's the beetle that Harry saw when they were overhearing the conversation Hagrid was having with Madame Maxime. The thing is, he said he was half giant, but he didn't say who his mother was. How did Rita Skeeter find out who his mother was, is my question. No, said Harry, leading the way over to the Gryffindor table and throwing himself into a chair, furious. He never even told us, did he? I reckon she was so mad he couldn't give her loads of horrible stuff about me. She went ferreting around to get him back. Maybe she heard him telling Madame Maxime at the ball, said Hermione quietly. We'd have seen her in the garden, said Ron. You did. You just didn't know that you saw her. Anyway, she's not supposed to come into the school anymore. Hagrid said Dumbledore banned her. Good. Maybe she's got an invisibility cloak, said Harry, ladling chicken casserole onto his plate and splashing it everywhere in his anger. Sort of thing she'd do, isn't it? Hide in bushes listening to people. Yeah. Like you and Ron did, you mean, said Hermione. We weren't trying to hear him, said Ron indignantly. We didn't have any choice. The stupid prat talking about his giantess mother where anyone could hear him. Could have heard him. We've got to go and see him, said Harry. This evening, after divination. Tell him we want him back. You do want him back, he shot at Hermione. Well, I'm not going to pretend it didn't make a nice change, having a proper Care of Magical Creatures lesson for once. But I do want Hagrid back. Of course I do, Hermione added hastily, quailing under Harry's furious stare. So that evening after dinner, the three of them left the castle once more and went down through the frozen, I was supposed to say forbidden, and it didn't quite come out that way, through the frozen grounds, because I was thinking Forbidden Forest, to Hagrid's cabin. They knocked, and Fang's booming barks answered. Hagrid, it's us, Harry shouted, pounding on the door. Open up. Hagrid didn't answer. They could hear Fang scratching at the door, whining, but it didn't open. They hammered on it for 10 more minutes. Ron even went and banged on one of the windows, but there was no response. What's he avoiding us for? Hermione said when they had finally given up and were walking back to the school. He surely doesn't think we'd care about him being half-giant. But it seemed that Hagrid did care. They didn't see a sign of him all week. He didn't appear at the staff table at mealtimes. They didn't see him going about his gamekeeper duties on the grounds. And Professor Grubbly Plank continued to take the Care of Magical Creatures classes. Malfoy was gloating at every possible opportunity. Missing your half-breed pal? He kept whispering to Harry whenever there was a teacher around so that he... Oh, my goodness. Scratch that. I'm redoing that. Missing your half-breed pal? He kept whispering to Harry whenever there was a teacher around, so that he was safe from Harry's retaliation. Missing the Elephant Man? There was a Hogsmeade visit halfway through January. Hermione was very surprised that Harry was going to go. I just thought you'd want to take advantage of the common room being quiet, she said. Really get to work on that egg. Oh, I reckon I've got a pretty good idea what it's about now, Harry lied. You're such a bad liar. Have you really? Said Hermione, looking impressed. Well done. Oh my gosh, she's falling for it. Harry's insides gave a guilty squirm, but he ignored them. He still had 5 weeks to work out that egg clue, after all, and that was ages. Yeah, but once you figure it out, you gotta figure out how to fight it, you know? Like, it's not enough to just know what it is. Whereas if he went into Hogsmeade, he might run into Hagrid and get a chance to persuade him to come back. If he's not teaching and he's not going to meal times, what makes you think he's going to be in Hogsmeade? He, Ron, and Hermione left the castle together on Saturday and set off through the cold, wet grounds toward the gates. And they passed the Durmstrang ship moored in the lake. Oh, geez. I'm not reading this correctly. As they passed the Durmstrang ship moored in the lake, they saw Victor Crumb emerge onto the deck, dressed in nothing but swimming trunks. He was very skinny indeed, but apparently a lot tougher than he looked, because he climbed up onto the side of the ship, stretched out his arms, and dived right into the lake. "He's mad," said Harry, staring at Crumb's dark head as it bobbed out into the middle of the lake. I just realized what's going on. He's practicing. For a second, I'm just like, he's a weirdo, just going for a swim. No, he's practicing for the second task. That's what's going on. Oh my gosh, my camera. My camera's very unhappy. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe I have too many tabs open or something. Maybe. It must be freezing. It's January. It's a lot colder where he comes from, said Hermione. I suppose it feels quite warm to him. Yeah, but there's still the giant squid, said Ron. He didn't sound anxious. If anything, he sounded hopeful. Hermione noticed his tone of voice and frowned. He's really nice, you know, she said. He's not at all like you'd think, coming from Durmstrang. He likes it much better here, he told me. Ron said nothing. He hadn't mentioned Victor Crumb since the ball, but Harry had found a miniature arm under his bed on Boxing Day, which had looked very much as though it had been snapped off a small model figure wearing Bulgarian Quidditch robes. Ron. Harry kept his eyes skinned for a sign of Hagrid all the way down the slushy high street, and suggested a visit to the Three Broomsticks once he had ascertained that Hagrid was not in any of the shops. The pub was as crowded as ever, but one quick look around at all the tables told Harry that Hagrid wasn't there. Heart sinking, he went up to the bar with Ron and Hermione, ordered 3 butterbeers from Madame Murda, and thought gloomily that he might just as well have stayed behind and listened to the egg wailing after all. Doesn't he ever go into the office? Hermione whispered suddenly. Look. She pointed into the mirror behind the bar, and Harry saw Ludo Bagman reflected there, sitting in a shadowy corner with a bunch of goblins. Bagman was talking very fast in a low voice to the goblins, all of whom had their arms crossed and were looking rather menacing. It was indeed odd, Harry thought, that Bagman was here at the Three Broomsticks on a weekend when there was no Triwizard event, and therefore no judging to be done. Yeah, something shady is going on with Ludo Bagman. He watched Bagman in the mirror. He was looking strained again, quite as strained as he had that night in the forest before the Dark Mark had appeared. But just then Bagman glanced over at the bar, saw Harry, and stood up. In a moment, Harry heard him say brusquely to the goblins, and Bagman hurried through the pub toward Harry, his boyish grin back in place. Harry, he said, how are you? Been hoping to run into you. Everything going all right? Fine, thanks, said Harry. Wonder if I could have a quick private word, Harry, said Bagman eagerly. You couldn't give us a moment, you two, could you? Okay, said Ron, and he and Hermione went off to find a table. Bagman led Harry along the bar to the end furthest from Madame Rosmerta. Well, I just thought I'd congratulate you again on your splendid performance against that Horntail, Harry, said Bagman. Really superb. Thanks, said Harry, but he knew this couldn't be all that Bagman wanted to say, because he could have congratulated Harry in front of Ron and Hermione. Bagman didn't seem in any particular rush to spill the beans, though. Harry saw him glance into the mirror over the bar at the goblins, who were all watching him and Harry in silence through their dark, slanting eyes. Absolute nightmare, said Bagman to Harry in an undertone, noticing Harry watching the goblins too. Their English isn't too good. It's like being back with all the Bulgarians at the Quidditch World Cup. But at least they used sign language another human could recognize. This lot keep gabbling in gobbledygook. And I only know one word of gobbledygook. Bladvok. It means pickaxe. I don't like to use it in this case, they think. I don't like to use it in case they think I'm threatening them. He gave a short, booming laugh. What do you want? Harry said, noticing how the goblins were still watching Bagman very closely. Well, said Bagman, looking suddenly nervous. What do they want? I thought he said, what do you want? Sorry. What do they want? They're looking for Barty Crouch. Are they really? That's not what I thought they wanted. Why are they looking for him here? Said Harry. He's at the Ministry in London, isn't he? As a matter of fact, I have no idea where he is, said Bagman. He sort of stopped coming to work. Been absent for a couple of weeks now. Young Percy's assistant says he's ill. Apparently he's just been sending instructions in by owl. But would you mind not mentioning that to anyone, Harry? Because Rita Skeet is still poking around everywhere she can, and I'm willing to bet she'd work up Barty's illness into something sinister. Probably say he's gone missing, like Bertha Jorkins. Wink wonk, wink wonk. I think he has. Or something to that effect. Have you heard anything about Bertha Jorkins? Harry asked. No, said Bagman, looking strained again. I've got people looking, of course. About time, thought Harry. And it's all very strange. She definitely arrived in Albania because she met her second cousin there. And then she left the cousin's house to go south and see an aunt. And she seems to have vanished without a trace en route. Blowed if I can see where she's got to. She doesn't seem the type to elope, for instance. But still, what are we doing, talking about goblins and Bertha Jorkins? I really wanted to ask you, he lowered his voice, how are you getting on with your golden egg? Not bad, Harry said untruthfully. Bagman seemed to know he wasn't being honest. Listen, Harry, he said, still in a very low voice. I feel very bad about all this. You were thrown into this tournament. You didn't volunteer for it. And if... His voice was so quiet now, Harry had to lean closer to listen. If I can help at all, a prod in the right direction. I've taken a liking to you, the way you got past that dragon. Well, just say the word. Harry stared up into Bagman's round, rosy face and his wide, baby blue eyes. We're supposed to work out the clues alone, aren't we? He said. And Bagman is a judge. This is highly unethical. He said, careful to keep his voice casual and not sound as though he was accusing the head of the Department of Magical Games and Sports of breaking the rules. Well, yes, said Bagman impatiently, but come on, Harry. We all want a Hogwarts victory, don't we? Have you offered Cedric help? Harry said. Oh, got him there. The smallest of frowns creased Bagman's smooth face. No, I haven't, he said. Well, like I say, I've taken a liking to you. Just thought I'd offer. The truth is, Bagman needs money bad, and he bet a lot of money on Harry winning. That's what's really going on, if you didn't know. Well, thanks, said Harry, but I think I'm nearly there with the egg. A couple more days should crack it. He wasn't entirely sure why he was refusing Bagman's help, except that Bagman was almost a stranger to him, and accepting his assistance would feel somehow much more like cheating than asking advice from Ron, Hermione, or Sirius. It would be, Harry. It would be straight up cheating. Bagman looked almost affronted, but couldn't say much more as Fred and George turned up at that point. "Hello, Mr. Bagman," said Fred brightly. "Can we buy you a drink?" No," said Bagman with a last disappointed glance at Harry. "No, thank you, boys." Fred and George looked quite as disappointed as Bagman, who was surveying Harry as though he had let him down badly. "Well, I must dash," he said. "Nice seeing you all. Good luck, Harry." He hurried out of the pub. "He's running." The goblins all slid off their chairs and exited after him. Harry went to rejoin Ron and Hermione. "What did he want?" Ron said, the moment Harry had sat down. "He offered to help me with the golden egg," said Harry. "He shouldn't be doing that," said Hermione, looking very shocked. "He's one of the judges. And anyway, you've already worked it out, haven't you?" Nearly," said Harry. "Well, I don't think Dumbledore would like it if he knew Bagman was trying to persuade you to cheat," said Hermione, still looking deeply disapproving. "I hope he's trying to help Cedric as much." "He's not, I asked," said Harry. "Who cares if Diggory's getting help?" said Ron. Harry privately agreed. "Those goblins didn't look very friendly," said Hermione, sipping her butterbeer. "What were they doing here?" "Looking for Crouch, according to Bagman," said Harry. "He's still ill. Hasn't been into work." "Maybe Percy's poisoning him," said Ron. "Probably thinks if Crouch snuffs it, he'll be made head of the Department of International Magical Cooperation." Hermione gave Ron a don't joke about things like that look and said, "Funny, goblins looking for Mr. Crouch. They'd normally deal with the Department for the Regulation of Control of Magical Creatures." "Crouch can speak loads of different languages, though," said Harry. "Maybe they need an interpreter." "Worrying about poor ickle goblins now, are you?" Ron asked Hermione. "Thinking of starting up SPUG or something. Society for the Protection of Ugly Goblins." SPUG! That's funny. "Ha ha ha," said Hermione sarcastically. "Goblins don't need protection. Haven't you been listening to what Professor Binns has been telling us about goblin rebellions?" "No," said Harry and Ron together. "Well, they're quite capable of dealing with wizards," said Hermione, taking another sip of butterbeer. "They're very clever. They're not like house elves who never stick up for themselves." Oh, that's not what he said. That's not what Ron said. Ron said, "Uh-oh," staring at the door. Rita Skeeter had just entered. She was wearing banana yellow robes today. Her long nails were painted shocking pink, and she was accompanied by her paunchy photographer. Or photographer, however you want to pronounce it. She bought drinks, and she and the photographer made their way through the crowds to a table nearby. Harry, Ron, and Hermione glaring at her as she approached. She was talking fast and looking very satisfied about something. Whatever could it be? "Didn't seem very keen to talk to us, did he, Bozo? Now why would that be, do you think? And what's he doing with a pack of goblins in tow anyway? Showing them the sights? What nonsense. He was always a bad liar. Reckon something's up. Think we should do a bit of digging? Disgraced ex-head of magical games and sports, Ludo Bagman. Snappy start to a sentence. Bozo, we just need to find a story to fit it." "Trying to ruin someone else's life," said Harry loudly. A few people looked around. Rita Skeeter's eyes widened behind her jeweled spectacles as she saw who had spoken. "Harry," she said, beaming. "How lovely. Why don't you come and join?" "I wouldn't come near you with a 10-foot broomstick," said Harry fiercely. What did you do that to Hagrid for, eh?" Rita Skeeter raised her heavily penciled eyebrows. "Our readers have a right to the truth, Harry. I'm merely doing my—" "Who cares if he's half-giant?" Harry shouted. "There's nothing wrong with him." The whole pub had gone very quiet. Madame Rosemurda was staring over from behind the bar, apparently oblivious to the fact that the flagon she was filling with mead was overflowing. Rita Skeeter's smile flickered very slightly, but she hitched it back almost at once. She snapped open her crocodile skin handbag, pulled out her quick quotes quill, and said, "How about giving me an interview about the Hagrid you know, Harry, the man behind the muscles? Your unlikely friendship and the reasons behind it. Would you call him a father substitute?" Hermione stood up very abruptly, her butterbeer clutched in her hand as though it were a grenade. "You horrible woman," she said through gritted teeth. "You don't care, do you? Anything for a story, and anyone will do, won't they? Even Ludo Bagman." "Sit down, you silly little girl, and don't talk about things you don't understand," said Rita Skeeter coldly, her eyes hardening as they fell on Hermione. "I know things about Ludo Bagman that would make your hair curl. Not that it needs it." she added, eyeing Hermione's bushy hair. Let's go, said Hermione. Come on, Harry. Ron. They left. Many people were staring at them as they went. Harry glanced back as they reached the door. Rita Skeeter's Quick Quotes quill was out. It was zooming backward and forward over a piece of parchment on the table. She'll be off to you next, Hermione, said Ron in a low and worried voice as they walked quickly back up the street. Let her try, said Hermione defiantly. She was shaking with rage. I'll show her. Silly little girl, am I? Oh, I'll get her back for this. First Harry, then Hagrid. She will go after Hermione. Oh, that article just boils my blood. Oh, it's gonna be brutal. I'm not ready. You don't want to go upsetting Rita Skeeter, said Ron nervously. I'm serious, Hermione. She'll dig up something on you. My parents don't read the Daily Prophet. She can't scare me into hiding, said Hermione, now striding along so fast that it was all Harry and Ron could do to keep up with her. The last time Harry had seen Hermione in a rage like this, she had hit Draco Malfoy around the face. And Hagrid isn't hiding anymore. He should never have let that excuse for a human being upset him. Come on. Breaking into a run, she led them all the way back up the road, through the gates flanked by winged boars, and up through the grounds to Hagrid's cabin. The curtains were still drawn, and they could hear Fang barking as they approached. Hagrid! Hermione shouted, pounding on his front door. Hagrid, that's enough. We know you're in there. Nobody cares if your mum was a giantess, Hagrid. You can't let that foul Skeeter woman do this to you. Hagrid, get out here. You're just being... The door opened. Hermione said, About... and then stopped very suddenly because she had found herself face to face not with Hagrid, but with Albus Dumbledore. Good afternoon, he said pleasantly, smiling down at them. We wanted to see Hagrid, said Hermione in a rather small voice. Yes, I surmised as much, said Dumbledore, his eyes twinkling. Why don't you come in? Okay, said Hermione. She, Ron, and Harry went into the cabin. Fang launched himself upon Harry the moment he entered, barking madly and trying to lick his ears. Harry fended off Fang and looked around. Hagrid was sitting at his table, where there were 2 large mugs of tea. He looked a real mess. His face was blotchy, his eyes swollen, and he had gone to the other extreme where his hair was concerned. Far from trying to make it behave, he now looked like a wig of tangled wire. It now looked like a wig of tangled wire. Hi, Hagrid, said Harry. Hagrid looked up. Lo, he said in a very hoarse voice. More tea, I think, said Dumbledore, closing the door behind Harry, Ron, and Hermione, drawing out his wand and twiddling it. A revolving tea tray appeared in mid-air. That's cool. With a plate of cakes. Dumbledore magicked the tray onto the table, and everybody sat down. There was a slight pause, and then Dumbledore said, Did you by any chance hear what Miss Granger was shouting, Hagrid? Hermione went slightly pink, but Dumbledore smiled at her and continued. Hermione, Harry, and Ron still seemed to want to know you, judging by the way they were attempting to break down the door. Of course we still want to know you, Harry said, staring at Hagrid. You don't think anything that Skeeter cow... Sorry, Professor, he added quickly, looking at Dumbledore. I have gone temporarily deaf and haven't any idea what you said, Harry, said Dumbledore, twiddling his thumbs and staring at the ceiling. Right, said Harry sheepishly. I just meant... Hagrid, how could you think we'd care what that woman wrote about you? 2 fat tears leaked out of Hagrid's beetle-black eyes and fell slowly into his tangled beard. Living proof of what I've been telling you, Hagrid, said Dumbledore, still looking carefully up at the ceiling. I have shown you the letters from the countless parents who remember you from their own days here, telling me in no uncertain terms that if I sacked you, they would have something to say about it. Oh, it's so sweet. Oh. Not all of them, said Hagrid hoarsely. Not all of them want me to stay. Well, you're going to find that, Hagrid. That's with anybody. Really, Hagrid, if you're holding out for universal popularity, I'm afraid you will be in this cabin for a very long time, said Dumbledore, now peering sternly over his half-moon spectacles. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Not a week has passed since I became headmaster of this school, and I haven't had at least one owl complaining about the way I run it. But what should I do? Barricade myself in my study and refuse to talk to anybody? A train is going by, and not the Hogwarts Express, unfortunately. Yeah, you're not half giant, said Hagrid croakily. Hagrid, look what I've got for relatives, Harry said furiously. Look at the Dursleys. An excellent point, said Professor Dumbledore. My own brother, Aberforth, was prosecuted for practicing inappropriate charms on a goat. It was all over the papers, but did Aberforth hide? No, he did not. He held his head high and went about his business as usual. Of course, I'm not entirely sure he can read, so that may not have been bravery. Come back and teach, Hagrid, said Hermione quietly. Please come back. We really miss you. Hagrid gulped. More tears leaked out down his cheeks and into his tangled beard. Dumbledore stood up. I refuse to accept your resignation, Hagrid, and I expect you back at work on Monday, he said. You will join me for breakfast at 8:30 in the Great Hall. No excuses. Good afternoon to you all. Ah, he's such a good man, Dumbledore. Dumbledore left the cabin, pausing only to scratch Fang's ears. When the door had shut behind him, Hagrid began to sob into his dustbin lid-sized hands. Hermione kept patting his arm, and at last Hagrid looked up, his eyes very red indeed, and said, Great man, Dumbledore. Great man. Yeah, he is, said Ron. Can I have one of these cakes, Hagrid? Help yourself, said Hagrid, wiping his eyes on the back of his hand. Oh, he's right, of course. You're all right. I've been stupid. My old dad would have been ashamed of the way I've been behaving. More tears leaked out, but he wiped them away more forcefully and said, Never shown you a picture of my old dad, have I? Here. Excuse me. Hagrid got up, went over to his dresser, opened a drawer, and pulled out a picture of a short wizard with Hagrid's crinkled black eyes, beaming as he sat on top of Hagrid's shoulder. Hagrid was a good 7 or 8 feet tall, judging by the apple tree beside him. But his face was beardless, young, round, and smooth. He looked hardly any older than 11. There's a picture of him at the beginning of the chapter. Wow, this is a long chapter. There's an apple tree in the picture? I don't see an apple tree. Oh, I guess that would be the apple tree. Maybe yeah, that's the picture of him there. That was taken just after I got into Hogwarts, Hagrid croaked. Dad was dead chuffed. Thought I might not be a wizard, see, 'cause me mum. Well, anyway. Course I never was great shakes at magic, really. But at least he never saw me expelled. Died, see, in me 2nd year. Dumbledore was the one who stuck up for me after Dad went. Got me the gamekeeper job. Trust people, he does. Gives them second chances. That's what sets him apart from other heads, see? He'll accept anyone at Hogwarts as long as they've got the talent. Knows people can turn out okay even if their families weren't. Well, all that respectable. But some don't understand that. There's some who'd always hold it against you. There's some who'd even pretend they just had big bones rather than stand up and say, I am what I am, and I'm not ashamed. Never be ashamed, my old dad used to say. There's some who hold it against you, but they're not worth bothering with. And he was right. I've been an idiot. I'm not bothering with her no more. I promise you that. Big bones. I'll give her big bones. Harry, Ron, and Hermione looked at one another nervously. Harry would rather have taken 50 blasted Scroots for a walk than admit to Hagrid that he had overheard him talking to Madame Maxime. But Hagrid was still talking, apparently unaware that he had said anything odd. You know what, Harry, he said, looking up from the photograph of his father, his eyes very bright. When I first met you, you reminded me a bit. You reminded me of me a bit. Mum and Dad gone, and you were feeling like you wouldn't fit in at Hogwarts, remember? Not sure you were really up to it. And now look at you, Harry. School champion. Man, look how far we've come, because we read that bit on this channel. Oh, man, that was 2 years ago? Holy mackerel. Man, it's been a while. He looked at Harry for a moment and then said very seriously, You know what I'd love, Harry? I'd love you to win. I really would. It'd show 'em all. You don't have to be pure blood to do it. You don't have to be ashamed of what you are. It'd show 'em Dumbledore's the one who's got it right, letting anyone in as long as they can do magic. How you doing with that egg, Harry? Great, said Harry. Really great. Hagrid's miserable face broke into a wide, watery smile. That's my boy. You show 'em, Harry. You show 'em. Beat 'em all. Lying to Hagrid wasn't quite like lying to anyone else. Harry went back to the castle later that afternoon with Ron and Hermione, unable to banish the image of the happy expression on Hagrid's whiskery face as he had imagined Harry winning the tournament. The incomprehensible egg weighed more heavily than ever on Harry's conscience that evening, and by the time he had got into bed, he had made up his mind. It was time to shelve his pride and see if Cedric's hint was worth anything. Yes! And that is going to be my favorite chapter, chapter 25. The Egg in the Eye. That's my favorite chapter from Goblet of Fire. But that will be for next time, because now we're going to write some fan fiction, because that is the end of that chapter there. Fan fiction. Okay. We're gonna hop to it. Okay. Let us put on some music. All right. I'm gonna put on some nice, relaxing Harry Potter music. Yes. Go away. All right, let's make sure that it's a good, I was about to say temperature, volume. I don't want it too loud. Writing fan fiction. Alright, so this is what we wrote last time. We wrote about a page. Not really a page, it's more like half a page because it's double spaced, but the Yule Ball was quite a long chapter, so I only got to write for about 15 minutes last time, but we have a good half hour now. So how about I read what we wrote together last week? All right. This is for my fanfiction In Your Shoes. It's a classic body swap fanfiction where Harry and Draco swap places. If you'd like to read, if you are unfamiliar, if you haven't read it yet, go on to my Patreon. The prologue, chapters 1 and chapter 2 are on there for free. Go and enjoy them after the stream if you'd like to. But this is chapter 3. In Your Shoes, chapter 3. Draco's stomach churned as he set foot into the Charms classroom in Harry's shoes. He was late, of course, for he had to return to Gryffindor Tower to change clothes. Thankfully, some late first years were rushing out of the portrait hole, for Draco didn't know the password to get in. Everyone stared at him as he entered the classroom full of seated students. It was as if they could see right through him. Professor Flitwick scowled at him. "You're late, Mr. Potter." "Sorry," Draco muttered, still uncomfortable with Harry's voice in his mouth. At first he was unsure of where to sit, but Ron and Hermione caught his eye, and he remembered that he was supposed to be friends with them. They signaled for him to join them, puzzled at his hesitation. He sat down. "Where were you?" Hermione whispered anxiously as Flitwick started the lesson. "Ron said you were upset about something." Draco didn't want to answer her. He hated being only a seat away from her. Yeah, what happened this morning? Are you okay? I'm fine, Draco said curtly. I was afraid... Well, Ron started. He lowered his voice further. I thought maybe you had another dream. What? Draco said, thoroughly confused. Why? What? Yeah. You know. Oh, wait. Why is Ron saying Voldemort? I just realized Ron's not going to say his name. You know who? Draco spoke without thinking. Potter has dreams about... Oh, he wouldn't say Voldemort either. Would Draco say the Dark Lord? The Dark Lord. Probably. No. That... Would Draco say that? I'm gonna say that, yeah. Potter's dreams about the Dark Lord? They stared at him like he was a weirdo. Ugh. No. Did I already use the word confused? Because I don't want to use that word again. No, I said... Oh, right here. Ron and Hermione continue to stare at him as if... what's a good simile? They're looking at him like something weird is going on, because he literally just, you know, imagine he's Draco looking like Harry. They don't know that he's Draco. And he just said Potter has dreams about the Dark Lord. First, he just referred to himself in the third person, and second, he just said the Dark Lord, which Harry would never call him. And so it's like, how are they looking at him without using the word confused or puzzled or something like that? Continue to stare at him. Let's see. Let's say Ron and Hermione, instead of continued, let's say they looked at him. I hate using the word looked. I feel like it's too vague. But sometimes the simplest word is the best word. And this is just a rough draft, by the way. So we can kind of just write and we can fix it later. Ron and Hermione looked at him as if how are they looking at him? As if how are they going to look at him? I'll just say as if a horn is growing out of his head. They've got a what is going on kind of look. Ron and Hermione looked at him as if a horn was growing out of his head. That was when Draco realized he had said something wrong. I mean... What's he gonna say? Should he be like, no, I didn't dream? Or, yes, I dreamt? Or, I mean... Yeah. Yeah. Just a bad dream. Should I put Draco's thoughts in between these paragraphs? Potter has dreams about the Dark Lord. How would Draco feel about that? And how do you feel about that? How would he feel about that? I think at first he'd be kind of like, really? He'd be like, how pathetic, you know? Like, are you serious? Potter has dreams about the Dark Lord. Potter has dreams about the Dark Lord. This sounds weird. This kind of sounds weird. Ron and Hermione. Were Ron and Hermione serious? No, they're Ron and Hermione. Were Ron and Hermione serious? Draco had to stop himself from scoffing. How pathetic. Maybe he doesn't believe it. Maybe he doesn't believe that Harry's actually having dreams. Maybe he believes that Harry's telling people he's having these dreams because Harry's so desperate for attention. Was Harry so desperate for attention? How do you spell desperate? Desperate for attention. Was Harry so desperate for attention that he had to tell people he was fighting the Dark Lord in his sleep? I don't know. Were Ron and Hermione serious? Draco had to stop himself from scoffing. How pathetic. Was Harry so desperate for attention that he had to tell people he was fighting the Dark Lord in his sleep? Should I indicate... This is what Draco's thinking. But should I indicate it with italics? By italicizing it? Were Ron and Hermione serious? Stop himself from scoffing. How pathetic, he thought. How pathetic, he thought. Was Harry so desperate for attention that he had to tell people he was fighting the Dark Lord in his sleep? Was Harry so desperate for attention? We could say, was Harry so... Fighting the Dark Lord. Fighting the Dark Lord wasn't enough during the day. Harry had to be special in his sleep too. Were Ron and Hermione serious? Draco had to stop himself from scoffing. How pathetic, he thought. Fighting the Dark Lord wasn't enough during the day. He had to be special in his sleep too. Ron and Hermione looked at him as if a horn was growing out of his head. That's when Draco realized he had said something wrong. I mean, so then what's Draco gonna say? He's probably gonna be like, I mean, yeah. Huh? I mean, yeah. What's he gonna say? I took good care of him, though. Huh? What are you talking about? I mean, yeah, it was a rough one. I won out in the end, though. What? What are you talking about? Oh my god. Let's put... Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was a rough one. Draco pretended. What's a better word? I mean, yeah, it was a rough one. Draco postured? What does postured even mean? That's posture, the noun. I want the verb. Behave in a way that is intended to impress or mislead. That's what we want. I won out in the end, though. His friends faces did not improve. Like, they continued to be like, huh? And I put friends because in Draco's mind they're not friends. His friends' faces did not improve. Is that enough, or should I say more? Yeah, let's fix that. Ron and Hermione looked at him as if a horn was growing out of his head. That was when Draco realized he had said something wrong. I mean, yeah, it was a rough one. Draco postured. I won out in the end, though. Is this... What song is this? Is this the song they're singing in the church? I didn't realize that was in the soundtrack. I haven't heard it in the soundtrack. This must be the song they're singing in the church. You think they'd be in there, Hermione? Yeah. Yeah, I think they would. Oh, it's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it. It is beautiful. Alright. He looked at him as if a horn was growing out of his head. That was when Draco realized he had said something wrong. I mean, yeah, it was a rough one. Draco busted that one out in the end, though. I need Ron and Hermione to be more... I need another phrase to say that they're, like, dumbfounded. Dumbfounded. Greatly astonished or amazed. That's not quite the word I want. I want something that means, like, confused. I need the, actually, need a thesaurus, please. I know what a thesaurus is. Did I already look up this word last time? I might have. Baffled, befuddled, bewildered, dazed, disorganized, distracted, muddled, perplexed, perturbed, puzzled, flummoxed. Nonplussed. Baffled. Let's say that they're moving from bewilderment to, like, worry. Draco's friends' faces is it better if I italicize it? No. No, I kind of hate it. Companions. Draco's. From bewilderment to friends' faces were moving quickly from bewilderment to worry might actually be a good word because of the W sound in it. Bewilderment to worry. But I'm going to see if there's a better word. Anguish, apprehension, concern, doubt, fear, headache, misery, misgiving, pain, problem, uncertainty, uneasiness, woe. Bewilderment. Let's go with worry. Draco's friends' faces were moving quickly from bewilderment to worry. But the discussion ended there because Professor Flitwick was now Grouping everyone up into pairs to practice, I don't know, what kind of spell would they be learning? I don't know. What spell would they be learning? Do I need to be that specific? But the discussion ended there because Professor Flitwick was now grouping everyone up into pairs. No, he's not grouping everyone up because Professor Flitwick asked everyone to to pick a partner. To practice what would they be practicing? I don't know. To practice what spell would require a partner? I don't know. A tickling spell. No. They've already learned that. That's, I forget what spell that is. They learned it in second year. This is such a puzzle. To practice I don't know. Come on. Think of something. I keep thinking of things and I'm just like, we've already done that. They've already learned that. What charms would you be learning in 6th year? I keep thinking that's not charms, it's transfiguration. It's like changing the color of things. Levitation. No, we learned that one already. I don't know. How does J.K. Rowling do it? I don't know. I mean, I think in the book they learned Muffliato, and that's something you could use with a partner. The silencing charm? We'll go with that. Oh, no, wait. There was a part I wanted Draco to call Hermione a mudblood at one point. Maybe it's too soon for that. How about... No, we'll wait on that. Well, I certainly want to move in that direction, but we'll wait on that. Hermione and Ron had no desire to be Harry's partner today. So they partnered together. So they chose each other. Hermione and Ron had no desire to be Harry's partner today. It seemed that Hermione and Ron had no desire to be Harry's partner today, so they chose each other. Draco needed a partner. Draco didn't know who to partner with. It seemed that Hermione and Ron had no desire to be Harry's partner today, so they chose each other. Draco didn't know who to partner with. He wasn't familiar with Harry's friendship with anyone else. He wasn't familiar with Harry's friendship with anyone apart from Ron and Hermione. It seemed that everyone else was taken. Then someone approached him. Then someone from across the room approached him. Oh, Harry. Girl, Draco, had never met. Hello, Harry, the girl said. Do you need a partner? Draco was stunned for a moment. He had never seen this girl before, and she was incredibly attractive. He never would have believed he'd think that of a Gryffindor girl. Draco was stunned for a moment. He'd never seen this girl before, and she was incredibly attractive. He never would have believed he'd think that of a Gryffindor girl. She had thick, curly black hair. Thick, curly black hair. Curves in all the right places. And legs for days. Yeah. Draco said smoothly, suddenly finding himself. What's your name again? She giggled. No. You've forgotten my name? She giggled. It's Ramilda. That'll make things spicy. But we're gonna figure out where the spiciness goes next time. Because now it is time for my intermission. And then, when we get back, I'm going to play Hogwarts Legacy. Yay! Hopefully we'll be able to start some classes now. All right. So I hope you're enjoying the stream so far, and I hope you stick around. If you haven't already, click the like button and talk in the chat or in the comment section down below. If you'd like to become a subscriber, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you can be notified the next time I go live. I'll be going live next week. If you want to know when, follow me on Twitter, link in the description. Also in the description is my Patreon if you'd like to support me as a content creator or as a writer. As you see, I write, and I have all kinds of writing on my Patreon if you'd like to purchase a subscription and read them. There's also free stuff on there, no subscription required, and you can check them out on my Patreon, link in the description. Also in the description, my TikTok and my Instagram if you'd like to follow me there. And I will be back in 15 minutes. Let's write some more. I'll probably keep the music off because I don't want the music to play while it launches the game. Okay. Draco was stunned for a moment. He had never seen this girl before, and she was incredibly attractive. He never would have believed he'd think that of a Gryffindor girl. She had thick, curly black hair, curves in all the right places, and legs for days. Yeah, Dragon said smoothly, suddenly finding himself. What's your name again? You've forgotten my name, she felt. It's Ramilda. Ramilda Bane. Yeah. Ramilda? What kind of a name is that? Ramilda Vane. Where has she been all his life? Ooh. Just thinking things I shouldn't think, but maybe. Okay. It's had been. Where had she been all his life? Oh, we're down to seconds. Okay. I think it'll be ready to launch soon. Maybe. We'll see. Minute, 13 seconds, 11 seconds, 59 seconds, 1 minute, 3 seconds, 50 seconds. Here, I'm gonna get this set up here. I apologize. Maybe just when I'm getting my stream ready earlier in the day, I should just start up the game just to make sure it doesn't require any updates or something. Oh, I also want to apologize for my stream yesterday. Did I say that? I apologize. My stream, I was grumpy in my stream yesterday. That wasn't fun. Alright. Ready, set, go. I was grumpy yesterday. I didn't eat before the stream. And so I wasn't the most pleasant person to watch yesterday. I apologize. 1, 2, 3, go. Please. Please. Is it doing the thing? Do the thing. Whoa. Yeah, that's a lot of dropped frames. Wow. Why is this a struggle every time? This shouldn't be hard. Okay, according to this, it's trying to play. So, running. Okay. Okay. Alright. Just have to give it some time. There we go. Okay. Thank you. Is it going to do the shadows again? Probably. The camera's being funky. Again! I still don't know why you can't see the epilepsy warning. It's weird. See, this is the part I wanted to do during the intermission so that we can just jump into the game when I get out of the when the intermission's done. But no! Because things don't go right for me. Preparing shaders. Great. What even are shaders? And you can't see it. For unknown reasons, you can't see it. I don't know why. This music makes me think of Chronicles of Narnia. Good soundtrack, by the way. Slammin'. Moving pretty quickly. More than halfway. About a third of the way. Almost there. Yeah. And you guys can't see it. Not at all. Not even a little. And I don't know why. You guys can't see it. It's on the screen. I don't know why you guys can't see it. Capture any full screen application. No. Yeah. I don't understand why you can't see it. You guys can't see it at all. Can you guys even hear it? Yeah. Why can't... Oh, there we go. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Okay, we're in Gryffindor. Continue your journey through Hogwarts in the Wizarding World. Awesome. Ooh. Where's this? An elephant graveyard? What? Target lock is an effective tool against any enemy you want to combo or otherwise find difficult to track. Ooh. Come on. You can do it, game. You can do it. I believe in you. It's kind of stuck. Did I break it? Ooh, it's trying. Ooh, it's trying. I wonder, did the patch break things? It might have. Didn't hear anything about a patch, so I don't know what it is or anything. Ooh. It's chugging. Ooh. All it knows is pain. Revelio will clearly highlight nearby enemies, interactive elements, and containers, even through walls. It will also hint at the location of nearby Revelio pages. What's a Revelio page? I'm sure we'll find out. Come on. I want to play. I want to play the game. Load faster. There's not even music. Come on. There we go. Find your common room. I'm in the common room. Oh, no, I'm not in the dormitory. Where's my bed? Where'd I wake up from? I forget. I think I woke up from... Does this wardrobe go to Narnia? That's the next RPG they need to make. This is Narnia. Oh, look. Got candy. Bernie bots of flavored beans. Chocolate frogs. Oh. I need to head to my common room. Sounds as though there are some voices coming from nearby. Perhaps I should follow them. What? Oh, hey, look, and there's a map showing me where to go. I want you to look around. That looks like a demiguise. That creature right there? That might be. Do I have a reflection? Oh, I do. Sweet. These pictures don't move. Terrible game. Worst game of the year. I'm just looking at everybody's shit, you know. Whoa. That must be the door that's way out. Man, this is cool. Oh, this is so cool. Ooh. I can't hear it. The music in the game is too loud. Ooh. Cool. Neat. Ooh. Cool. Huh. I think this is my bed, maybe? I forget. I forget which one I woke up from. Alright, alright. Oh. No, I'm going the right way. Can we leave? Yep. That was weird. I expected to have to press a button to open the door. Huh. Oh. Oh, cool! Snacks! I like snacks. Tea? Why are you drinking that? You don't know where that's been. An apple in a bowl is fine. But just a random teacup? No. That was probably somebody else's tea. Can I have it again? What? I'm thirsty.
Now, which way is the common room?
It's probably the only way we can go. Wow, this Erica's a special one. Ooh. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's like different like stairwells, you know, to go to the different dorms for different people. I really am special. Like, because there's different years, aren't there? Like, in the Harry Potter movies, you only see, you know, one dormitory. Two, maybe, if you count the doorway in which Hermione goes through to go to the girls' dormitory. So you think, oh, there's only one room. Like, you know, there's no place for the other kids to sleep. But they actually got realistic with this. Maybe we should go upstairs. Man. Because it's probably downstairs. Oh! It's the witch's bathroom. Cool. Oh, neat. Probably can't go in the stalls, which is fine. Oh, yes you can. Oh. I mean, it might be a super realistic game, and I was like, I don't think I want that on stream. Flushing is fine. I was afraid something else was gonna happen. Because I was afraid, because I was like, we ate an apple, you know? Maybe something else was gonna happen. And I was like, I don't think I want to see that. At least not on stream. I want to go upstairs. I want to see what's upstairs. Oh, what's through here? Can I go through here? Can I go? Oh. Man, this is cool. Ooh, money! I just stole somebody's money, you know, as you do. There's the common room. That's so exciting. More tea? Cool. Just kind of a little hangout area there. I'm exploring. Whoa. Exploring too hard. Oh wait, this is where I came from. Okay. Alright, so I'm as far up as I can go. Okay. Alright. Unless... Wait, no, that's where I came from. I'm getting all turned around.
Must be different, starting Hogwarts in your 5th year.
They're talking about me. Those bitches. Hi. I want to be friends. Wow, that new girl's weird. Is that where I just came from? Or did I just came from here? Oh. It's locketed. Do you think this is the boys section? Which, if they're true to Harry Potter, I should have complete access to. Oh man, wouldn't that be something? If you were if you played as a wizard and like you couldn't access the female section, but you, like me, are playing as a female and you can access. Peeves? 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 Where's Peeves? I I hear a Peeves. Oh my gosh.
What a lovely treat to have you walk by. Be sure to pass by at least once a year. Twice if you can.
It's a talking mirror. Oh, it's a talking mirror. Oh my goodness, there's a shaving kit right there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the boys' dormitory. And I can go in it. Though it's probably anybody can. They probably didn't stick to that Hogwarts. Excuse you? They probably didn't stick to that. I don't know. Hogwarts lore? I don't know. Is it lore? Is that what lore is? Boys can't get to the girls' dormitories, but girls can get to the boys' dormitories? Ooh, it just suddenly loaded in. Because, well, Hermione explains it in Order of the Phoenix. Like, when boys try to get to the girls' dormitories, the stairs become a slide and they slide down. And I was just in here, wasn't I? Yeah, probably. I gotta keep track of where I am, because I don't know where I am. I don't know where I am. Alright, that's... Hey, don't the boys get a bathroom? Ooh, a nook. I was up here. Oh, I've been here. Alright. I probably should go where I'm supposed to now.
They're lucky they didn't end up as dragon food, like that poor man from the ministry.
Can't imagine stuff.
Introduce yourself to Cressida. Introduce yourself to Gareth. Introduce yourself to Nellie. Ooh. Can I introduce myself to all of them? The fuck are you doing up there? I was confused. Cressida? Isn't that the name of, Isn't that the name of, the director of Katniss's propos from the Hunger Games? Oh, I want to read all. I want to listen to all their conversations. House chest.
Wait, that's not right.
Okay. Wait, that's not
Really
right.
thought I had it.
Cressida. Okay, so there's Cressida. She seemed lovely. Where's Gareth?
That girl thinks she can get away with anything.
If I get caught, I shan't defend them.
I'm sure you'd use them.
It'll be the next butterbeer.
It's not really my type.
She gets bolder every
Where's
year.
Nellie? Where's...
Who does Nellie think she
Oh,
is?
is Nellie? Nellie's up there. I'm gonna go with Cressida. Cressida seems my type of girl.
Still not working. Ugh. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's not a complicated spell. I should be able to do it non-verbally. Why is this not working? Ugh. Oh, hello there. Welcome to Gryffindor. I'm Cressida.
Pleasure to meet you, Cressida.
Splendidly theatrical arrival to the sorting ceremony last evening.
Thank you.
Made it in by the skin of your teeth. Is it true that you're Professor Fig's protege?
I mean... I guess. I don't know if protege is the right word.
I'm not sure I'd say that, but I did study with him a little before we arrived.
Blast! I was hoping he might have given you some advice on non-verbal casting.
We're not
Is
even
that what you
there.
were trying to do just there?
Oh, yes. Having a spot of trouble. I've mastered the charm using its incantation, but this is proving a bit trickier.
Don't worry, you'll get it in the end.
Oh, I hope so. If I can get it, Professor Ronan's sure to be very impressed. I'm just going to keep at it.
You do it. Wish you luck. Leave.
Is it really that difficult to cast non-verbally?
Oh, yes. And if
Yeah, I
you don't
believe
get
it.
it just right, the results can be, shall we say, awkward. Once, I tried to cast Depulso non-verbally on the goblet in the Great Hall and ended up launching Professor Sharp's Yorkshire pudding into his face. He was not happy.
Sorry, I like saying it the way Harry says it in the Order of the Phoenix game. Depulso! It's very dramatic.
Do most students know how to cast non-verbally?
Not at all. Hogwarts doesn't teach non-verbal casting until the 6th year. And even then, many struggle
That's
with it.
true.
I'm
It's true to
simply
the
trying
books.
to get ahead of the game.
Harry, nonverbal spells weren't even talked about until Half-Blood Prince. And then Snape, that whole interaction with, there's no need to call me Sir, Professor, happens during a nonverbal spell lesson. Okay.
Well, good luck with it.
This
It's
is
nice
fun
to
for
meet you,
me.
Cressida.
You
Let
as
me
well.
just say,
Enjoy your first
just
day.
like, if you don't know anything about me, this is fun for me in games. Just walking around, exploring, talking to people. That's fun for me.
I hope the professor catches her this time.
Don't fall off this time, Nelly.
Oh, they're all talking at once. Alright, let's meet Gareth.
Here, have a sip. Go on.
Whoa.
Sure you don't want to try it?
Nah.
Brewed it myself.
That's why I'm worried.
Hello. You're the new 5th year. Pleased to meet you. I'm Gareth Weasley. Heard about your travels here. Can't believe it.
I knew he was a
Glad you
Weasley. Oh, when I
invited me.
looked at him, I'll be
Is it true
honest.
that someone from the ministry was with you in the carriage?
Oh, yes. A friend of Professor Fig's.
Oh, didn't mean to pry. Nasty business, dragons. Again, very glad you're here.
Thank you, Gareth. So am I. Are you related to Professor Weasley?
I am. She's my aunt.
That's what I figured.
Must be nice having an aunt for a professor.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Aunt Matilda tends to treat me as if I'm a first year. Keeps too close an eye on me. It's all a bit suffocating, to be honest. Still, she means well. And she's an incredibly powerful witch. She'll have your back.
Are you having butterbeer for breakfast?
Oh no. I've been perfecting a recipe I came up with over the summer. I'm almost there, based on some reactions that may need a bit more work.
Seems you enjoy brewing.
Don't trust
Might I
anything a
assume that you have
Weasley gives you
talent for
to
potions
eat.
of all sorts?
Well, as I see it, there's little difference fundamentally between brewing a modification to butterbeer and a Wiggenweld potion.
Are you serious?
I'm not certain Professor Sharp would make the connection.
I
He
wouldn't.
doesn't appreciate my creativity as much as you might think.
Well, it was nice meeting you, Gareth. And thank you for the insights on your aunt.
Pleasure to meet you as well. Good luck today.
Alright, let's go meet Nellie then.
To get the right consistency of a confusing concoction.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Nelly will do anything for
Need
a
another
drink.
apple.
If I recall,
Sustenance.
I shan't offend you.
Who
Alright.
does Nelly think she is, anyway?
Why is everyone so highly strung? It's perfectly safe.
What do you mean?
Well, hello.
What is
Don't
it,
mind
G?
me. I find it helpful to change my point of view now and again. Put things in perspective. Once I made it to the top of Gryffindor Tower, from the outside, without a broom.
Goodness.
She does parkour.
By the way, Nellie Ogspire. I've heard rumors about what happened to you on your way to Hogwarts. Is it true? About the dragon?
Sure is. Was nothing her land.
Yes, our carriage was attacked by a dragon.
Crikey! I can't believe it. How thrilling!
It was
And
pretty
also
cool. I was into
terrifying.
it.
Anyway, you've certainly brought some much-needed excitement to Gryffindor. And Hogwarts, for that matter.
What exactly are the rumors about my journey to Hogwarts?
That you escaped a dragon attack? Isn't that enough? Most of us arrive via train or boat, not having just escaped the jaws of a dragon. Of course it's got people talking. Word travels fast at Hogwarts.
I take it you're not afraid of heights?
It's something I've always done, since I was little. My mother once found me on the roof when I was 5. Still has no idea how I got there. But with all the strange hallways and rooms in the castle, and everything lurking in and outside the grounds, you don't need to scale a tower to see something incredible here.
True.
I'd imagine most students have never seen a dragon. Have you?
Goodness, no. And I'd never heard of one attacking a carriage like that. Not enough meat in a carriage, I'd think.
I'm sure I'll be seeing you around, either in our common room or when you scale your next tower.
You never know. Bye for now.
Alright, I needed
Gryffindor.
everybody.
Professor Weasley's waiting for you outside the common room.
Ah, Pruitt. You will always encounter a Pruitt at one point or another in the Wizarding World. There's so many of them. Alright.
Good morning. I trust you're ready for your first day at Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you are here. Make the most of it. You only have one first day at Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a fifth year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind. Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the year.
OWL?
Yes! Let's
Ow.
do it!
Yes,
I'm
your
ready.
ordinary wizarding level exams. They will determine what type of career you can have when you leave here. After much discussion with the headmaster and the Department of Magical Education at the Ministry, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success. Here you are.
Cool.
What is it?
It is a wizard's field guide. It will help you to keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a fifth year. You would be wise to take full advantage of this exceptionally valuable resource.
Okay. Let me just put it in my butt.
But what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test.
Okay. Walking.
This way. The
Oh,
guide
there's
will give you
thieves.
opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizarding lore.
Yes, please. And there's Peeves.
Peepsy has a brand new game.
I certainly would have appreciated something like the field guide when I was a student. Using the guide will also train you to be alert to your surroundings. Do keep up.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Ah, the guide appears to have some information for you about that painting of poor Barufio.
It does?
Simply cast Revelio
Collect
on
the
it,
guide
and we'll
page.
see what the guide says.
Wizard's Field Guide. I should follow her and see what she can teach me about it. Okay. How do I collect the field guide? How do I do it? Did something explain how I do that? I'm jumping. How do I do it? How do I access the book?
Revelio.
Yeah. Ah! That's how I do it. Portrait of Barufio. Guide pages. This portrait depicts the wizard Barufio, famed for his brain elixir, and as an example of what happens when incantations are improperly spoken, he once said S instead of F and found himself on the floor with a buffalo on his chest. That is in Harry Potter somewhere. I can't remember where. Challenge unlocked. You've just unlocked a field guide challenge. Your progress towards completing challenges appears here. Okay. Open field guide. This is your wizarding level. XP earned from challenges increases your level and power. Your field guide tracks your current challenge progress. Select the challenges menu to continue. Okay. Challenges menu. Oh, the one that's right. The one they're highlighting. Alright. Collect your first guide page unlocked a new challenge category. New challenges you unlock throughout your adventure will appear here. Select field guide pages to continue. Okay. So I've actually seen some tips and tricks videos, and I've heard that there's some stuff that you want to level up first in order to get other stuff later, or something like that. Okay. Each challenge has tiers. Special rewards unlock at each tier you complete, from appearances to critical upgrades. Rewards must be claimed from the challenges menu. Come back often to collect rewards you have unlocked. Okay. We can look at that stuff later. We'll figure it out as we go.
Clever, isn't it? Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like that, inside and outside of the castle.
Ooh, I want. I'm petting a cat.
No time to waste. You've classes to attend.
But there's always time to pet a kitty. There's always time to pet a cat. Always. Ooh, money. Money. Yes. Thank you.
Good timing. Perfect opportunity to show you how to use
Blue
blue flames
flames.
to get around a bit quicker. Your field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find Central Hall.
Okay. You've discovered a Flue Flames fast travel point. You can open the map at any time to fast travel to any discovered Flue Flames. Okay. Flue Flames locations: the Astronomy Wing, the Bell Tower Wing, the Grand Staircase, the Great Hall, the Library Annex, the South Wing. Hogwarts is divided into two main areas. The left side of the map is where students and professors live and includes the House Common Rooms and the Great Hall. Okay. Select the South Wing region. This one? South. Okay. Welcome to Hogwarts. Professor Weasley said she has more to show me. I should follow her to find out where she is in my... Oh, it shows me my objective in that area. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, the one that's jumping at me. The South Wing. Select the South Wing region to continue. The South Wing of Hogwarts. Select. In this view, you can see the Flue Flames available in that region. Green Flue Flames represent flames you have discovered, including your own House Common Room. Gray Flue Flames reveal the location of undiscovered flames. Okay. The right side of the map is where you'll find academic points of interest, including the Astronomy Tower, Library, and greenhouses. Select the Library Annex region to continue. What's this one? The Library Annex. The Annex of the Library. Professor Weasley has unlocked the Central Hall Flue Flames for you. Use right joystick to rotate the map and fast travel to the Central Hall Flue Flames with X. So, we want this one. Oops. Cool. I like this very much. I like this much better than the combat. I'm hoping to get better at the combat, though. I might even try out the keyboard. See if keyboard would be better for combat. I was told controller is better, but I don't know. I'm finding it difficult.
And here we are. Quite the time saver.
I don't know about
These stairs
that.
lead directly to Central Hall.
I kind of like the idea of just walking
You can
walking
get almost
around, like,
anywhere in the
realistically to other
castle
places.
quickly from Central Hall.
I understand why they use the flu network, because some people don't care, they just want to get to where they want to go. That totally makes
Always
sense. But
something
for me,
happening
I
here.
want to actually
The
walk
heart
through the
of the
castle to
hive.
get where I need
Our
to go.
King's Cross Station, so to speak.
Oops. Huh? What is happening? Hold on.
That should be all for now.
Okay.
You'll be expected
That
to
was weird.
attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes too. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
Okay. Okay.
What will I learn in Charms class?
Exactly what you might expect. Spells, charms, jinxes, all terribly useful. I think you will enjoy Professor Ronan. He's a clever and entertaining wizard, and a talented teacher.
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, as the name implies, focuses on how to defend oneself against the evils that lurk beyond these walls. A mastery of Defense Against the Dark Arts is required for those who aspire to become Aurors. Fortunately, we are lucky to have the ever-gifted Professor Heckert in charge of our students' education in that regard.
Okay.
You mentioned Hogsmeade, Professor.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village in Britain,
Yep.
and is home to an array of shops and pubs. You should be able to find all of the school supplies you require in Hogsmeade. You will also, I imagine, enjoy many a butterbeer there with friends in due course.
All right.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm afraid that's all there is to it.
I'm lying. For
Almost
Professor Fig.
precisely what
I promised Professor Fig I
said.
wouldn't tell anybody.
Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Excuse
Well, I'm just glad you
me.
both arrived
My
on
pronouns are she, her. Thank
perfectly
you very
good
much.
boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank
Yes, more tutorial, please.
you. Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
All right. Oh, jeez. Doesn't like this
It's
room.
good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you masterfully evade Professor Weasley's interrogation regarding
Well,
our late arrival?
Yeah.
I did my best, but I'm fairly certain she suspects we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Yeah.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
Okay. You can track available quests from the map. Well, uh-oh. It's struggling. Game is struggling just a little bit. There we go. Alright, this symbol represents main quests. Completing the main quest will further the story, unlock new features, and grant XP. Defense against the Dark Arts class. The field guide map shows Professor Hackett's class is in the lower section of the astronomy wing. I could get lost in this castle. I may need to use the charmed compass in the field guide to help me find the way. Attend Defense Against the Dark Arts. Reward Levioso. Continue. Some quests are locked by spell and or level requirements. In these cases, you will need to be the required level and or have the required spell to activate the quest. New spells can be earned by completing professor's assignments or as quest rewards. Okay. Track a quest with A to continue. Charms class. The field guide map shows Professor Ronan's class is in the astronomy wing. This castle is enormous. I made to use the charm compass. Yeah, gotcha. Go to charms class, rewards, Accio. Oh, man. Honestly, I need more training in combat. So I want to do... I gotta do Defense Against the Dark Arts. You're supposed to do both, and I'll do both. But I'm going to start Defense Against the Dark Arts because I need to learn this.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own one.
Yes, please.
You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
I want to do well. Quest complete. Welcome to Hogwarts. Use the charmed compass to lead you anything you're tracking. Okay. Let's go. Ooh. Ooh, we got some frame rate issues. Can I not? Oh, it's loading. That's what that means. Oh my goodness. Ooh. It just needs a minute. A lot of detail. I'm in the Transfiguration Courtyard. Another cat! I want to pet cat. I want to stand on cat. I want to pet cat. I won't let me pet the cat. There we go. Oh. Running into a little bit of issues here. There's always time to pet a cat. Ooh, what's going on over there? Oh. What is going on? I don't know. It's a little eerie without music on too. Door. Alright. Just taking a quick look around here. But I think we'll head up to the classroom. Don't want to be late. And there'll be plenty of time to explore. Ah, cool. Dark detectors.
Is that all you've got?
Levioso!
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity.
Oh, she
Especially
was an
in the
unspeakable.
Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Cool. She was a... She had secret jobs in the Department of Mysteries.
Levioso.
Now, let's try something a little larger. Let us begin with a basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast.
Okay.
Remember, a surprised opponent is a weak opponent.
Breakthrough yellow
As
shields
Master
with
Pruitt
control
so artfully helped me
spells,
demonstrate
like the
earlier.
Leviosa spell. How do I...
Levioso.
Good. Now, the basic cast. Well done.
Okay.
Very good. But the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego.
God.
You may begin.
Don't wanna. Combat is so hard for me.
This should be easy.
You're good.
How perceptive. Thank you. Lucky.
Nothing lucky about it.
How's the view? Protego. Complicates things. Good form.
I know.
Cool.
This can't be your first duel.
It's
Let's
not.
just say I'm a quick learner.
Remember the lesson. Levioso is quite effective.
Stupefied.
I do enjoy a lively duel. If I look forward my students for this again.
Potato.
Try to anticipate your opponent's next move.
Rather good at this, aren't you?
I know.
Watch your opponent for signs to attack or defend yourself.
Stupefied.
Use the basic cast when your opponent's guard is down.
How do I do it? Heck yeah. That wasn't so bad.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Gryffindor.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments.
Okay.
All right. That's enough spectacle for one day. Class is dismissed.
I'd hate to face Professor Hecat in a duel.
Oh, I'm not much for dueling. I prefer to keep things friendly.
Yeah, I kind of that way too. Oh wait, is that Cressida? Our friend Cressida?
Huh. Always thought Levioso was for first years. Not anymore.
And who's
If
this?
you know the right spells, it's dark wizards that'll fear you, not the other way around.
Speak with Sebastian.
Nice work.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite
Yeah, that
something.
wasn't that bad.
Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice. It felt more like I was dueling an expert.
What? No,
That's
you're
in
just
summer,
saying
by the way.
that.
Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
It wasn't.
I've dueled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back.
Huh, fair enough. You owe me an honest duel when you aren't. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Unsanctioned? I don't know. School rules are in place for a reason.
Yes, to keep students in the dark. So many things we're deemed unprepared to know. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then.
I can do
Whether
that.
it's joining a secret dueling club or sneaking into the restricted section
I'd
of
rather
the
do
library.
that.
You just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance
Are you
today
coming
was
on
sheer
to
luck
me?
or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance. If you're
Luke
interested.
and Brattleby, huh?
Till next time.
Well, I think we should do something else first. Okay, defense against the dark arts. Okay. I'm at level 2 quests. 10 first day, a 10 charms class, that's next. And it should speak, oh, that's right, okay. Okay. And then collections. Revelio pages, gotcha. Excuse me. I have one quest. Complete 2 main story quests completed, okay. Legendary gloves, huh? And legendary cape. And field guide pages, spectacles. Okay. Okay, cool. Alright, let's go to Charms class. Is it this way, or is it up over here?
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Up there. Up, up, up. still up. Oh, maybe not.
I'm sorry,
Huh. Alright. Following the yellow dots. At least I think. Man, they're so...
Professor Ronan tends to go.
Alright, let's do Charms class. Man, my foot is so itchy! Dying here.
Here. Behind you. There is an open seat here.
Hi.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work. But I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone? Anyone? Hmm?
Nope.
I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm?
Accio.
Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
That was weird. That was a weird exchange. Alright.
Accio!
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me.
Ooh. Taking a bit of loading time.
I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test? right?
Ooh. Struggling a little bit. Oh.
So why don't we have our newest student start us off? Hmm?
Okay. Accio, spell unlocked. The summoning charm. Accio pulls a target closer to the caster. Hold right trigger and press the assigned button to cast Accio and pull a target closer. Release right trigger to cease casting.
Out, you are summoning them towards you. The trick is, that's it. Don't lose your composure. Very good. Excellent control there.
Oh.
Happens to the best of us.
Close.
Very good. Points to Gryffindor. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up. You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Be sharp.
Okay.
Phew.
Alright. 30.
You we go.
But she didn't even cast it. What a cheater.
Very good. Nicely done. Watch this.
Alright. We got this. Come on, come on, come on. Well, I guess that doesn't really work. Come on, come on, come on. Did we get it? Did we get it? Ah, damn it. Oh, well. Close. Really close.
Let us make this
This
bit more interesting.
game's a little glitchy. It's okay. What was that? I missed that. Again? Wait, do I have to keep going?
I think we are well past interesting
this
at
is
this point.
I'll say.
Enough
All
chatter.
right, all
Focus
right.
now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Let us see this.
Alright.
That is how it's done.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about the boxes. I was just like, cast a spell! Do the spell! I wasn't even thinking about the boxes!
Concentrate, let's say.
Too far? No, we got it, we got it.
Excellent control there.
Nice. Nicely
Watch this.
done.
Phew. Well done.
I win! I'm the winner!
Very good, both
One
of you.
person's
well
clapping.
done.
More loading. Ooh, what's that place? That place looks cool.
Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
Good game back there. I must admit, I think I underestimated you. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took
Accio's
weeks
not
for
that
me
hard.
to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
Thank you. Oh, you transferred.
That's good to hear. It's a lot to take in all at once.
To put it lightly, I remember how I felt when I first arrived. I transferred here from Wagadu just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
You're really trying to do representation. I like it.
Is Wagadu much bigger than Hogwarts?
Wagadu School of Magic is the largest wizarding school in the world.
Really?
Bigger than Hogwarts.
Interesting.
But it never seemed intimidating or overwhelming to me. It always felt like home.
Is Wagadu a castle like Hogwarts?
Its address is Mountains of the Moon. It is not so much a castle as a beautiful edifice carved out of the mountainside.
No.
I remember the first time I saw it, the mist was so thick I could hardly make out anything at all. And then it just materialized before me, this enormous school that seemed to be floating in midair.
That's amazing.
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. But I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Wagadu uses one.
Okay. Why would you say that?
You can cast spells without a wand.
Oh, yes. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive. Not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
I like it.
It's nice to learn about another wizarding school.
Yeah, that's
Thank
cool.
you for asking. I do miss Wagadu, but I am glad to be here at Hogwarts. Ah, I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
All right.
Of course, you can use
A word, if you would.
if you're so inclined.
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to
It was
expectation.
wonderful.
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? You did well, managing to best as gifted a student as Miss Onai.
Thank you, Professor. I enjoyed the match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
Okay. All right. Quest complete charms class. Awesome. So what's next? I'm level 2, almost level 2. All right. Does that mean... Is it here I want to go? No. Ooh. Side quests are now available. Available side quests can be found inside regions of Hogwarts marked as flag and discovered by exploring the world. These quests reward XP but do not advance the main story. Okay. So all of those are side quests. Jesus. Okay. Cool. Alright. Let me look here. Still only one. Maybe we should look for Revelio pages. Am I supposed to? Woo! I don't know. It's all so overwhelming. There's a lot to do. And I'm not even sure exactly what I'm supposed to do, you know? Well, because it doesn't really work that way. It's, you know, it's whatever you want to do, kind of. New quest available. Open quest log. Okay. Meet Professor Weasley. Oh. Professor Weasley wants to see me in her classroom, which is off the Transfiguration Courtyard, located between the Library Annex and the Astronomy Wing. Hopefully she'll have a word on replacing my lost place. That's right, we need to go to Hogsmeade. That will be exciting. But we're going to do that next time. How do I quit? How do I quit? Quest settings. Oh, settings might actually be a good thing to look at. I might need to turn down the quality a little bit, but we'll do that next time. Let's save the game. Sure. Okay. And we'll exit. Yes. It's so fun. I am enjoying this. I think I'm gonna see if I can turn down the graphics a little bit more so that it stutters a little bit less. But otherwise, I think it's great. I think it's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a great time. Actually, I'm thinking I might want to stream a little more than just an hour and a half on Saturdays. I might consider, I don't know, maybe I'll stream some Sundays or something. Just a real chill stream. Like no face cam, and just for 3 hours, just being at Hogwarts, man. That might be fun. Not this Sunday because I'm exhausted and I need time to just do nothing. But maybe next Sunday that would be cool. If we can just like spend 3 hours just at Hogwarts doing Hogwarts stuff, that might be fun. I'll think about it. But I hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. Please leave a like on the stream if you haven't already. Tell me what you thought of the stream in the comment section down below. Become a subscriber if you're not subscribed already, and turn on notifications so you can be notified the next time I go live. I do plan on going live next week. If you would like to know when, you can follow me on Twitter. Link in the description. Also in the description is my Patreon. If you'd like to support me as a content creator or read my writings, I have short stories on there. I have free stuff on there as well, so you don't miss out if you can't afford it. And I also have a TikTok and an Instagram in my description as well, if you'd like to follow me there. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a magical evening. Bye-bye!